you know what I want to play? My favorite game. So at the creation of the character I really brisked through all the statistics, so I want to go over them a little bit. So I picked charisma just a little bit, because the only character that's allowed to use persuasion is you, and that's based in charisma. Also different statistics that will be poignant later on in the game. Wisdom similarly, if nothing else it improves my will saves. Intelligence is needed for the skills. The more skills you've got, and the easier it is, so a little bit of a bonus won't be detrimental, surely. Strength is something we're not going to be using at all, so I just lowered that fucker down to 8 and got myself a penalty. Dexterity and constitution is pretty much nothing left to do with my points, so they're at the steady level of no penalties, at least. So that's how this shit looks like. Also I decided to go for the blaster, at least for now, because I won't have loss to, well, I'll have a bonus to attack, even though I'll deal less damage than with a long sword. Perfect. Right, the one last thing I wanted to mention that I didn't really fit into the previous episode is that at the beginning you could see one splash screen that's non-standard, and that's, what was it called? Brotherhood of Shadows, Solomon's Revenge, which is pretty much a mod, quite a bit of content that will deal more with what the character is gonna end up being later on, but the big issue there is that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mention that later on too. They're gonna shoehorn a certain character in that doesn't really feel that well written or naturally inserted into the story. She feels like a fanfic, but that's neither here, it's there. Now, can you hear that in the background? Sounds like someone is doing some weird shit.
It's a dark Jedi. This fight is too much for us. We better stay back. All we do is get in the way.
Good thing they are very focused on each other, but they don't really notice us. They don't really even notice explosions that happen on them.
That was one of the Jedi accompanying Bastila. Damn, they could have used her help.
Oh, great spawn. Yeah, they were so focused on killing each other that they didn't notice the ship around them is exploding. And with a Pyrrhic victory from our little girl there, ending up in do I want this? I'll risk it. I want a power shot. She ended up dying to explosions of the ship scene anyway. So let's see how our attack's gonna work here now. Oh yeah, power shot really does help if you manage to hit. That will speed things up just a little bit. Perfect. Good job, Trask, with your little blaster there. Also, yeah, they told us last time, we should use, well, perfect, we should use medpacks, so we're better prepared for the next battle that's gonna come at any point, really. And we don't really need to, because as long as one person is alive, it'll be fine. Right, that's one thing. The other thing, where's the Dark Jedi that was having a little bit of a fight over here with our little Jedi girl there? He just disappeared. Where are their lightsabers? That could have been a useful tool here to play with, for us at least. You don't get any, because what the fuck do you think you are? A Jedi? No, you're apparently just a scout, not even a soldier. Right. Give ourselves a quick save and see what...
The bridge is just beyond that door. Better equip your melee weapon. There isn't much room on the bridge, and it's suicide to use a blaster in close quarters. I should equip a melee weapon too. Either that or I'll have to stay back and use my blaster.
Let's both stay back. That seems like a safe bet. But I guess I really... That's a good question. What if they have lightsabers?
Your melee weapon is made using a cortosis weave. It's strong enough to stand up against anything, even a lightsaber.
That's an important piece of fucking explanation here in this world. Very nice that it actually shows up. Also, I don't really remember ever having that dialogue talked to me, because I really always run around with a sword. So how about no? How about a short sword? Maybe. Should I really bother? Let's. You should equip a melee weapon too then. I was always running around with a sword in my hand, so that never came up as an issue. So since we're decked out like this now, deal with the problems, Trask. Oh, perfect! What a great hit! Fantastic! Good job, dude. You did so well.
Not here on the bridge. They must have retreated to the escape pods. We better head that way too. The Sith want Bastila alive, but once she's off the ship, there's nothing stopping them from blasting the Endar Spire into galactic dust.
No, I was pretty much mashing space. Did I activate him accidentally? Or did he decide that it's time for him to talk to me? Because there was still combat going on in the background. I guess they really predicted this to take longer than 4 hits. Well, tough luck on them. We did too well. So we're going on. Well, either way, the battle got resolved on its own anyway. So we're gonna keep on going. I guess that's good enough when it comes to melee weapons. Well, Trask, thanks for blocking us.
Yes.
That tutorial is gonna be over now. We're range combatants because we've got better attack bonuses when it comes to that. You're gonna see me save quite a bit, especially in front of combats that I know are gonna show up. Oh, how's that? I have to activate something on the bridge, I think. Or am I just fucking wrong? Backpack. Just dealt with that. What's going on? Why is this locked? Oh, do I have to level up? Alright then. I'm fine with this. Treat injury, of course, because when is the time that you're not gonna be needing a med pack? Demolition's not anymore, I don't think. Persuade is not gonna be of use anymore. We need something. Security is beyond our reach, so we're gonna use computer. We're gonna put our skills in computer use. Why would that be? Treat injury, like I just explained. Security is not our class, so we're not gonna waste points on that. Repair, pretty much anything that you're not gonna dump your points into, gonna get dumped into some other crew member. Because you're gonna be specializing, I'd be specializing, and they're gonna be specializing to supplement your loadout or specialization, or whatever you wanna call it, build. That's the term that runs around in the community. Stealth is also beyond us, awareness is useless. Demolition, we're gonna have a start to pick up a mine or two, to sell it or do anything other than that. Computer use is kinda useful. It's good to have something to interact with the world, the different... Oh, hold on, I've got a point. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna use that point later on the next level. Now feats. Attack only with melee weapons. Well, that's a bummer. We can get just an attack bonus to a blaster, but that's as opposed to a melee combat. Or we could take something more general. That's not gonna be within our reach for a long while. Well, we're not really in a luxury to pick interesting feats. So, what kind of generic shit can we pick? That's sort of useful. Or dual wielding? Probably not. Why the fuck would we bother with dual wielding? Let's go with the blasters. Or maybe blaster rifles. Let's go with the... It's immediately better to pick blaster pistols, but I'm gonna go with rifles. Fuck it. Maybe not the best build, but what choice do I have? I can't really store feat points. use the door now? Is something wrong? Is this the foretold issue? Oh, are we having an issue now? Who else do we have to level up? Well, that was awkward, to say the least, but we plow through.
There's something behind here. Damn, another Dark Jedi! I'll try to hold him off. You get to the escape
Another
pods.
one?
Go!
How brave of him, really. He threw himself into combat with someone who he definitely has no chances with, just to save our hero, the player character. Remember when he said, let's deal with problems together, because then we'll have a better chance? You think that would have been a good idea? Trask has bought you the time you need to escape. You should make your way to the starboard section of the ship. Let's do that since the door is fucking locked. And now we're in trouble, cause we're alone again. We won't have anyone to tank hits for us.
This is Cartho Nassi on your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Basila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. No, I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pods.
That's pretty much a big spoiler right away. He says I'm the last surviving member of the crew, so we pretty much already know Trask is immediately dead. Didn't put up too much of a fight, but apparently I guess he closed the door behind him hard enough that our Dark Jedi can't just pursue us. And Dark Jedi friend. Also, what is he doing? He's got a lightsaber, why won't he cut through? Because he's dumb, I guess. Now, riveting turn-based combat. I'm actually hitting the dude, so that's progress. I like how you can just shoot straight into the ground, because he doesn't use anything to aim, like the fucking giant scope he's got on the pistol. By the way, pistol models, every weapon models, including lightsabers, no, excluding lightsabers, is modded to look better and have some new textures to go along with. And the textures are connected to the mod with the models, because otherwise it's fucked up, so we're not using the nicely upscale things. Yeah, it's a trade-off, but at least the guns look nice. Whoops. Ramp up in difficulty right away. 2 dudes are shooting us, and hopefully we won't die. I won't die. 1 damage. It's immediately going poorly. Go on. What's our name again? Fuck if I remember. I could really use some meat shield. Ah, there we go. That seems like a critical hit. Or maybe it just was a maximum roll. So the problem with combat here is that something that I really opt out of pretty much is you either use melee weapons. Oh, right.
There's a whole squad of Sith troopers on the other side of that door. You need to find some way to thin their numbers. You could reprogram the damaged assault droid to help you, if you have enough repair parts. Or you could use computer spikes to slice into the terminal and use the Endar Spire's security systems against the Sith.
Very nice piece of design. You get multiple choices to deal with the situation. You could repair a droid. You can use a console to, like Karth said, what did he say? Do the thing with the thing. Use Endar Spire's security systems to thin their numbers. Or if you feel hardcore enough, if you pretty much put all your points into strength and constitution, you can just tank all of them and hit them. So the combat system is that either you get a blaster and some bonus to attack with droid repair tutorial. Are you interested? I'm not. Reactivate the droid. Or use the parts that you could use better later on, so let's not do that. The droid is actively, so if anything goes wrong... Oh, hold on, let's talk to the droid again. Right, so we can activate droid's shield and engage him in patrol mode, which means that he'll walk into the room himself and he'll tank the hits. But if we play our cards right, we're gonna have them run in and he'll blast them from where he stands. So it's like an ambush, right? So you have a blaster where with the dexterity you might just have a better chance of hitting, but there is pretty much nothing that increases your damage with your blaster, contrary to swords where you just pump everything into strength, and strength governs how well you're hitting the enemy and how much damage you deal. So melee is pretty much the better choice. Also, they're gonna be shit to deal with this later on too, and I'll probably mention that. So pretty much that's the only way I can deal with this without completely turning it into a bloodbath for myself. Like putting myself in danger is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Perfect, so we get experience for hacking the console and also killing all of them. Like this, see? Floating numbers? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And that's how we're gonna be getting our experience. We're gonna be repairing droids, fixing something in a console, and then just having them die. So we don't even really need to have that ambush. And all the loot is ours, including the experience, because that's the boon above all. What was I saying? Weapons. This thing, right, Carthonasi. So, second time, a character just lets you know, here's me calling you on your fucking phone, in case you didn't know how is this transmission going on and about, how are you receiving this message. Try calling your friend and telling him, hey, it's me, calling you on your phone. What was his reaction gonna be?
You've made it just in time.
That's right.
One active escape pod left. Come on, we can hide out on the planet below.
So, how do I know I can trust you? How do I know you won't fucking stab me in the back in the fucking pod just to increase your chances for survival? You know, smaller numbers.
With the Republic, like you. We're the last two crew members left on the Endar Spire. Bastila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot by the Sith. Now, come on. There'll be time for questions later.
That's no excuse, my friend. Do you think there are no scumbags on the Republic side? Have you read any extended universe in Star Wars where there were fucking monsters on both sides? There were, right. Which one is ours? I guess this one. The only one that's highlighted. What happened with this? And why are there servos on consoles like that? What is this supposed to launch? Each bay has its own like a thing. Oh, these don't have anything. Perfect. So that's an interesting fucking idea. Escape pod, and that'll be it for the tutorial, pretty much. This is the last escape pod and your only hope of survival. So you can just dilly-dally and fuck about some more, use it and progress the story. Let's talk to Kurt some more.
Bastila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot by the Sith. Now, come on. There'll be time for questions later.
I guess there isn't really choice. The illusion of choice is all you really need, right? Somewhat. Well, there goes our ride. Good thing escape pods are equipped with something that makes us not die. Otherwise, how did we not die again? I'm also still playing around with settings, audio probably. Yes, audio. So music levels and effects are still in fluctuation. It takes a few tries to tune it well, so you can also hear. I forgot to direct your attention to that. If you maybe paid attention to the music, you can still go back, I guess. Paid attention to the music in our tutorial stage, how hardcore and fucking pumping you to action it was, and it was level first, level 1.
I was wondering if you were ever gonna wake up. I'm Karth, one of the Republic soldiers from the Endar Spire. I was with you on the escape pod. Do you remember?
I do. It was it was a minute for us, and essentially, it's not really. A few hours, he says. A few hours. So yeah, my name is Torek still, yeah. So, what do we tell him? Do we immediately put our cards in the open? Lay our cards down? What's the phrase? Play open cards? So do we immediately tell everything what's going on in our heads to some strangers. I had weird dreams, and I'm sure he wants to hear all about that. We can introduce ourselves and immediately inquire about what the fuck is going on. We can just acknowledge that, yeah, in fact I do remember you, and also your name is showing up somewhere when you're talking. Let's get into hard questioning for right away. Where am I? How did I get here?
I've been slipping in and out of consciousness for a couple of days now, so I imagine you're pretty confused about things. But try not to worry. We're safe. At least for the moment. We're in an abandoned apartment on the planet of Terrace. We were banged up pretty bad when our escape pod crashed, but luckily I wasn't seriously hurt. I was able to drag you away from our crash site and all the confusion, and I stumbled into this abandoned apartment. By the time the Sith arrived on the scene, we were long gone.
Yeah, immediately as I started talking to him, I immediately slipped into this mode, this like state of mind where you just keep talking to him and keep inquiring and learning his character. We're not gonna be doing that, remember? I almost forgot. Right, do we immediately try to make friends with him? Or do we ask for the Sith? Do you know what the Sith is? I think I should know. We just faced them, and since we're in with the Republic, we should know who we're fighting against, so we're not gonna inquire the most basic shit. So are we just going to wait here for the Republic to rescue us?
Terrace is under Sith control.
I would.
Their fleet is orbiting the planet. They've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine. But I've been in worse spots. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages. It's pretty rare in a raw recruit, but it should come in handy while we're stranded on a foreign world. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith blockade to help us. If we're gonna find Bastila and get off this planet, we can't rely on anybody but ourselves.
Very important thing about this RPG in general, so since the release of something, Mass Effect I think, RPGs just devolved into shit with your ability to roleplay. Here you've got the good old hardcore fucking role-playing game where you get all your options, that is more than 3, and that are different than positive, negative, and neutral or funny, and also the option to inquire more in a separate part of the circle. You get all your options. You can often go back to them, but that's beyond the point, and you know exactly what you're going to say. Aside from the bug that we're gonna get to later on, you know exactly what you're saying. There is no, I think I'm gonna say that, and I'm just gonna pray for the best what's gonna end up happening, like often in my The Old Republic story playlist or series of videos. Here you just know how refreshing it is to just go back to the times of Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dales, Knights of the Old Republic, even first Dragon Age Origins. The Dragon Age Origins has lines of dialogue that your character is supposedly saying in its completion. What do you think you're gonna say if you pick any of those lines? If you pick first one, you think you would theoretically say, why is it so important to find Bastila? Or would you go on some weird tirade being paragon of justice, implying something with this line? Maybe we're gonna go talking about something else. Think for yourself. And this is the superior fucking system. And even Fallout 4 ruined it to itself, but there are mods that fix it for the Fallout 4, but that's beyond the point again. So this allows you to roleplay better, to, what's the term? When you are in the story, like, and feel the things around you. Immersion. It's way more immersive. Way more immersive. Why is it so important to find Bastila?
That smack to your head did more damage than I thought. Bastila's a Jedi. She was with the strike team that killed Darth Revan, Malak's Sith Master. Bastila's the key to the whole Republic war effort. The Sith must have found out that she was on the Endar Spire and set an ambush for us in this system. I believe Bastila was on one of the escape pods that crashed down here in Terrace. For the sake of the Republic war effort, we have to try and find her.
Well, again, let's not just outright tell him that we're evil by saying, forget it, I'm risking my life. I'm not risking my life to try and save her. We're gonna be subtle about this. If Bastila's a Jedi, she can probably look after herself.
Bastila's gonna need our help. Many of Darth Malak's followers have mastered the dark side of the Force, and the Sith have already killed more than their share of Jedi in this war. I doubt anyone's specifically looking for us anymore. We're not that important. But if we're careful, we can move about the planet without attracting notice, a luxury Bastila won't have. She's gonna have half the Sith fleet looking for her. They know how vital she is to the war effort. And Bastila's no ordinary Jedi. She has a rare gift the Jedi call battle meditation. Bastila's power can influence entire armies.
Oh great, can she influence the entire army above Taris to let us just go? Exactly, if Bastila is so great, how come the Sith managed to blow up the Endar Spire?
Through the Force, Bastila can inspire her allies with confidence and make her enemies lose their will to fight. And often that's all it takes to tip the balance in a battle. But there are limits to what she can do. From what I understand of her ability, it requires great concentration and focus to maintain her battle meditation. The attack on the Endar Spire happened so fast, she probably never even had a chance to use her power. I'm guessing she barely got out alive, and now she's trapped here just as we are. The whole planet is under quarantine. No ships can land or take off. So if Bastila's gonna escape Taris, she's gonna need our help, and we'll probably need hers.
Alright, so this is pretty obvious, right? What's in it for me if I help you out? Like, you know, it's a teamwork, we both get to get out alive, in case you do want to play a complete retard. Still, we're not convinced that we want to look for Bastila. I think I'll just take my chances on my own.
Don't be a fool, you're not getting off this world without help. You can't hide here forever. Do you have any idea what will happen when the Sith find you?
They're not looking for us, Karth, you said that yourself. So yeah, what do you think Karth can pay us for getting yourself out of the trouble after he dropped down in an escape pod with nothing to his name but clothes and blasters? So we can be evil, but not in this, not like this. Often being evil in this game entails being cartoonishly stupid or just cartoonishly evil. Very a big caricature of what an evil person would be. But we'll see about that, right? If it means getting off this planet, I guess I can help you find Bastila.
We're gonna need to work together if we're gonna survive. While you were out, I did some scouting around. There are reports of a couple of escape pods crashing down into the Undercity. It's probably a good place to start. But the Undercity's a dangerous place. We don't want to go there unprepared, and it won't do Bastila any good if we go and get ourselves killed.
We don't want to ask any questions, I guess. Not about Karth. I want to ask you some questions.
I can, though I don't know how much help it'll be.
Malakan the Sith? No. We should know. We're gonna assume we know, because we weren't born yesterday, so let's give us some credit. Again, I encourage you to play this game yourself, because it's a great game, and it's a role-playing game. You gonna role-play yourself. It's all up to you. I'm gonna get into that in more detail in the next episode, because this one is getting a bit long. What can you tell me about this planet we're on?
Taris was once a magnificent planet-wide metropolis of towering skyscrapers. But that was a long time ago. The upper city where the rich citizens live is still pretty safe. If it wasn't for the Sith occupation and the planet-wide quarantine, it might not even be a bad place to live. But farther down, things have degenerated. The lower city is nothing but a slum overrun by swoop bike gangs, waging a never-ending war for control. And the undercity is... well, it's even worse. The lowest level of Taris is a wasteland overrun by rat ghouls, mindless, diseased mutants that attack on sight. I've already entered all this info into your datapad journal.
Oh good, I shouldn't have talked to you then. We don't care about Karth. Well, I guess that's it. So how does he know about Taris? Maybe because of his travels as a warrior, as a soldier. Come on, I want to scout this planet out a bit.
Good idea. We can use this abandoned apartment as a base. We can probably get some equipment and supplies here in the upper city. Just remember to keep a low profile. I've heard some grim stories about the Dark Jedi interrogation techniques. They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. It can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity. But I figure if we don't do anything stupid, we should be okay. I mean, after all, they're looking for Bastila, not a couple of grunts like us. All right, soldier, let's move out.
I'm not a soldier, I'm a scout. Yeah, I remember him saying this line differently. I remember him saying, I heard the Force can do terrible things to a mind. But that's anyway, right? Go stand in your corner, Carth. Nobody wants to talk to your whiny ass. And yeah, the only thing that's left to do here is get out and get ourselves immersed into trouble, pretty much. Roleplay some more and experience more dialogues. I'm giving you explanations why I'm choosing these options, often because of roleplay and also the conditions that I chose at the beginning of the series, and I'm gonna keep doing that. So the series is gonna be running forever. So set aside a little bit, the greater part of 50 years of your life to enjoy this, because you need more, and so do I.